Hey everybody, it's Pete. Good morning. Welcome to a new episode of today's Best Stock Picks. It's Tuesday morning, December 22nd, 2020. Well, today we have some good news. We are going to be talking about some profit taking that we saw yesterday and some swing trades that we had last week. Thankfully, we picked some good stocks. We picked some stocks that had solid order flow. The tape was still strong. Yesterday's gap lower didn't affect them too much. And we had yesterday in quite a few stocks what we call a bullish U-turn. Where one side of the market is caught, meaning yesterday the short side, buyers step back in, reverse it, closes back above the previous day's low. But we actually got some more gifts beyond that, some stocks that did not gap lower that we were long from last week that just had amazing days yesterday. I keep saying this is such an amazing, amazing time to be a stock trader. The percentage moves intraday that we are seeing in one day, some stocks 15%, 20%, 25% in one day. That used to take a month back in the day when, back in the day, like an old man, but back in the day when market makers and specialists were pretty much in charge of the stock, there was a kind of a little bit more orderly way to work those orders. And now it just happens, it happens in an hour sometimes, which is just amazing. That's my point. I get some people emailing me, is this a tough time to be learning how to trade? This is a glorious time to learn how to be a stock trader with practically free commissions in the stock market and these kind of percentage moves every day. You know, it's interesting. We get people saying, are the algorithms bad for the market? Well, first of all, again, I mentioned this about a month ago and it was taken out of context. You don't want to have in your mind that anybody's out to get you, whether it's a market maker or they're running the stops or the algos, because that kind of puts fear in your head. You never want to trade from a position of fear. But, and this is very important. What if they're all on your side? What if you happen to do such a good job that you pick the right stock, you pick the right order flow, you understand how to read the tape, you buy it at the right time, and you happen to be doing that at the same time that the algorithms see that same situation, which really is what trading order flow is all about. And then all of a sudden, the algos are just going like this. They can't buy stock fast enough, and you already own the stock. So are the algos bad? They're part of what we have today, so you got to deal with them no matter what. But what if you happen to be in the right trade? And yesterday we got one that was just amazing. That was a swing trade last week. The algos took a hold of it yesterday, and the stock just exploded and gave the greatest pre-holiday gift to everybody in the community. And hopefully you, if you're watching it. By the way, I'd like to remind you to please click down to subscribe to the channel if you find these videos helpful every day. I would really love that because then you're going to get updates and new videos every day. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some big news in Apple with Tesla just continuing to crush the shorts. Apple's now giving some more positive news about the iCAR and when, which is a lot sooner than I think people expected. And the stock's trading up a little bit higher. Apple, by the way, also yesterday traded into one of those bullish U-turns if you want to take a look and see what I'm talking about. If you'd like to give yourself the gift of trading, definitely click down and learn about the boot camp. I'd love to see you on the other side too. It's 30 days, whether you're a day trader or a swing trader. We have trade setups and trade ideas and trade calls for both day trading and swing trading. Doesn't matter if you had a full-time job either. So we're gonna head over. We're gonna look at some news on Apple. We're gonna take a look at the iCar news. We'll start out here. Apple plans self-driving car in 2024. This is very specific. That's a big deal to be getting that specific. And obviously the battery conversation around Tesla is pretty big as well. So continuing with that line, stock goes up, Tesla dips after the report that iCar could emerge in 2024. So why is this so significant? They are putting such a specific date on this. It's crazy. That is really close. That means that they've been working on this for a long time and they are right there. Another big stock that we actually, let me finish with my Apple first. Last week in Apple, we actually had about 2 weeks ago, 120 has been the line in the sand for us. That's been the level based on tape reading, based on reading the order flow. 120 has been the significant reference point that we've been paying attention to. It broke through, came back, paused, held there. We've had 125 and 138 as our two levels. So with yesterday's bullish U-turn, that is still our initial entry. And it's not too late because we're still inside of the prior day's trading range, which was Friday. Microsoft actually had some noise yesterday about creating their own chips, and traded up into resistance around 224. So I didn't actively look to hold the longer term position, but above 224, that's the level to keep an eye on today. Now, some of the other trades that I mentioned that we took last week, we're in profit taking mode on some of these. I'm getting back to that conversation about algos being on your side. Hopefully you participated in this. We called it out earlier in the week and last week, actually. We called it out last week and earlier in the week. And you can see now the stock almost doubled in 4 days. Just 4 days. Let that sink in. When you understand order flow, when you understand how to read the tape, we see these every day. It's not luck. It's not a coincidence. It's not that you happen to be in the right stock. It means that you're watching the market leaders. It means that you're paying attention to price action and volume. Now, what do you do in FUBO? What do you do in the stock now that's up another 13% today? Well, we've made this call a few times recently, and each one of them has been spot on. Today, a higher opening in FUBO. If it's a swing trade, we're not talking about a longer term investment. If you bought it, and you see back here, down here towards the optimal entry, which we have highlighted here in a different color. Today's higher opening, we're looking for a higher opening. We're looking for it to push higher, and then we're looking for profit taking. So today is too late to be buying a new swing trade in the stock. The stock just doubled in 4 days. That's my point. That's the monster moves that I'm talking about when the algos are on your side. So if this was a swing trade, if you took the entry that we took last week, the game plan for today is to trail your profitable trailing stop higher, move it up as price moves higher, and then if and when price reverses, that's when you look to exit the trade for a profitable trade. Probably the poster child for this right now is QUANTUMSCAPE. Again, you can see it highlighted here, our optimal entry. This was the pullback that we look for after it made new all-time highs. That was the entry. We called it. Go back to the video. And now this stock as well. We look like we're going to end up punching through 100 today, and very similar today because of yesterday's parabolic move. A higher opening and a push higher today doesn't mean you get out. It means that you continue to trail your stops, and if and when it reverses, that's when you book it. So both of these trades are interesting today. They'd be day trades for me today, would not be longer term swing trades, because the further away you get from the optimal entry and the closer you get to a realistic profit target, the reward to risk diminishes. So it's still a day trade because it's in that finite window, but the longer term swing trade, we're in profit taking mode. So hopefully you took advantage of both of those. So we want to take a look at some trades now that look interesting today. VLDR actually spiked. We're looking for 31 to be the next entry. Two financial stocks, Goldman Sachs doubled normal volume yesterday, as well as Morgan Stanley, both of them punching through to really significant levels after consolidating for a while. We're looking for follow through on both of those today. Nova actually just finally punched through our target, our level at 44. The first level we're looking for a target here is 58. GRWG, which has been in our watch list now for the better part of about 6 months, had a really good solid momentum push. It paused for a couple of days. The order flow stepped back, and yesterday it broke out again. First day we call well bid, looking for follow through there today too. CHGG is an interesting one. We got to zoom out a little bit here on the charts. This was actually called out in the community yesterday. You definitely want to get into the community for the third time, and finally went well bid through 87, 50, 88 area, closed near the highs, which is what we were looking for. So we're looking for some follow through on there as well. TGTX. Again, this is a really good clean push and a pause, a push, and now another pause. Yesterday, the stock went well bid. 2 days after the optimal entry, we're looking for follow through here as well today. Two other stocks that are pretty popular. We started to talk about these a couple of days ago. PayPal, nice bullish gap, a pause, now looking for the next move. And ETSY, actually getting back to what we mentioned yesterday about the stay-at-home stocks. ETSY, Zoom, Peloton, we called them all out yesterday. Wayfair, hopefully you participated. Today we're looking for some follow through again in ETSY. So the big deal with today is pay attention to Apple, whether it's a longer term trade, you're going to start building a position there. Either way, the stock has the market's attention. That's the big thing we keep talking about every day, especially in the boot camp. Does your stock have the market's attention? If your stock has the market's attention by understanding how to read the order flow, then it's much easier to be confident about those trades, to have conviction because you're in the right trades as opposed to hoping the smart money then gets attention. You want the attention to be there already, and then you just kind of like throw a line in the water and you piggyback on their back, and it's much easier to trade that way. A lot less stressful, I can tell you that. So remember, we have some of these stocks that have exploded. They're in profit taking mode now. Don't be chasing some of these stocks. If it's a much longer term investment, this is obviously really good. You're looking for another push and a pause after a couple more days. But if the stocks that I mentioned, the game plan for me personally is looking for a higher opening and then trailing a profitable stop on those trades. So hopefully you participated. You've been watching the videos every day. There's been some amazing winners because order flow has been super obvious if you understand how to find it. So have a great day, have a profitable day, and hope to see you soon. Have a great day, everyone.